In a world struck by fear of impending nuclear doom, the 1960s film industry cracked open with a ream of spy action and thriller movies. I'm your host Zach, and today we're checking out one of those very films, the long-lost 1967 Jean-Louis Roy film, The Unknown Man of Shandigor, aka L'Inconnu de Shandigor. Brought to us on Blu-ray with a stunning 4K restoration from the combined efforts of Cinémathèque Suisse and Deaf Crocodile's Craig Rogers, The Unknown Man of Shandigor brings with it a handful of supplements, all packaged in a great-looking release. Before we get to unboxing our copy, let's talk a bit about the film itself. With the Cold War keeping the world on edge, crazed scientist Herbert von Kranz invents a device that can reverse and nullify all nuclear weapons, called the Chancellor. Deciding the world doesn't deserve his knowledge, Kranz suddenly retires from his public research, locking himself away in his home to be left alone by the millions of eyes watching. The whole science and military world is uneasy as Kranz has gone silent. Within the walls he now considers his horizon, he lives alongside his daughter, Sylvain, and his lab assistant, Ivan. With the research for the Chancellor locked away, all sorts of organizations from around the world begin to form teams of spies to infiltrate Kranz's home and steal the formula. We get all sorts of spy factions, from the Russians to the Americans to an unnamed Men in Black sort of organization sporting all sorts of tools and gadgets to become a human chameleon. With the impending waves of spy attacks, Kranz further hides his work by filming the pages for the formula in the middle of a single film reel, otherwise filled with vacation footage from the fictional town of Shandigor. He burns all other evidence of the Chancellor and hunkers down with his dysfunctional family. Among all the thrilling espionage and action is woven a sort of B-side story where the daughter, Sylvain, runs away after discovering the Chancellor formula, only to be kidnapped and swept away to Shandigor, where she reunites with a long-lost lover. This side of the story doesn't really get much attention, but it's a calming break between the otherwise comedically intense story, which brings me to my thoughts on the film. The Unknown Man of Shandigor is a delightful twist between art house spy thriller and self-aware spy comedy. The characters are all exaggerations of themselves, but are also very well written, making for both a campy experience and an engaging one. Von Kranz is a stubborn ass of a protagonist, but I just can't keep my eyes off him. He's rude, he's sinister, but he's also hilarious at times, and so are many of the other characters. The story overall definitely held my interest, and even with its foreboding tone and gloomy plot, they still managed to keep just an edge of lightheartedness. It's not entirely wacky a la Spy vs. Spy style, but we do get cool inventive gadgets, espionage shenanigans, and even an over-the-top villain with a mechanical torture chamber. Furthermore, everything about the visuals of the film are fantastic. The atmosphere is dark, the aesthetic just pops off the screen, and the restoration work done looks absolutely gorgeous. If you're at all interested in this genre and filming style, I highly recommend The Unknown Man of Shandigor. Deaf Crocodile Films brings us their first ever release, and they've shot out of the gate full speed. We've got a physical copy to unbox, so let's go check out what all this new label has included. Here we are with Deaf Crocodile's release of The Unknown Man of Shandigor. It comes in a sturdy matte slipcover with artwork adorning the front and back. Underneath is our clear Blu-ray case featuring a different poster on the sleeve. All of our release information is on the back, and inside we have a single Blu-ray disc on the right, and a booklet tucked in on the left. The booklet runs 12 pages cover to cover and holds in it an article by Chris D. They talk about the boom of spy films in the 1960s, where our film Shandigor lies in the quake, and a bit about several cast and crew members from the production. A quick read that also chalks up a great-looking list of other spy films for those interested. Otherwise, we've completed our unboxing of The Unknown Man of Shandigor. The sleeve isn't necessarily reversible, but it does have some artwork adorning the inside. With that, we've got some awesome bonus features to check out alongside the film, so let's head on over and see what's on the disc. Newly restored in 4K from the original 35mm picture and sound elements by Cinémathèque Suisse, with additional digital restoration by Craig Rogers of Deaf Crocodile, The Unknown Man of Shandigor looks stunningly beautiful on screen. It's presented in Swiss-French audio with English subtitles, and the film brings alongside it a brand new commentary track to listen to as well, featuring film journalist Sam Deegan. I've mostly encountered Deegan's material with Hong Kong cinema, so it was great to have her here discussing a Swiss-French film. She shares plenty of background information on the film, including a good summary of the director, Jean-Louis Roy, and his career, as well as the broader context of the cinema world during the original release. Her recording is flowing and interesting, and she uses what's on screen to further the discussion and bring all sorts of insights on the French New Wave influences, the relevant pop culture of the time, and more. Check this one out for a great listen on that second watch. With our feature presentation aside, we jump on over to a few video bonuses to watch as well. We get a restored original trailer for the film, a rare 1967 making-of documentary, and a brand new interview to check out as well. The making-of documentary runs just under 30 minutes long and is originally from Swiss TV's Cinema VIF show. The episode features interviews with director Jean-Louis Roy and cast members Daniel Emilfork, Jacques Dufilho, and Marie-France Boyer. They each take some time to answer questions and talk about the film, its background, and more. Swiss cinema during this time was in a strange place, and it's interesting to hear what everyone has to say, considering the offbeat nature of the resulting movie. Jean-Louis Roy's passion comes through in his discussion, and I enjoyed his segments in particular. It's so cool to have this much behind-the-scenes interaction from an older film looking so crisp. A standout inclusion that's a must-watch after the movie. We can round out our release by circling back to our bonus interview, running at 16 minutes long, with Françoise Roy, wife of the late director, and assistant director Michel Schopfer. They talk about how they met Jean-Louis Roy and various aspects of the film, from the title to the casting and more. Not as intriguing as the Cinema VIF episode, but a great addition nonetheless. With that, however, we've completed our look at Deaf Crocodile's release of The Unknown Man of Shandigor. The film looks fantastic and was a great pick. The physical copy and all the included bonuses elevate the film, and this was an overall major success in my opinion for the label's first release. I can't wait to see what Deaf Crocodile brings us in the future, and I will say I'm particularly excited for their recently announced work with the Russian film Ilya Muromets, aka The Sword and the Dragon. Regardless, let me know what you think of The Unknown Man of Shandigor, and this release in particular, down in the comments. Thanks so much for joining me here on Pajama Theater, and like this video and subscribe to support the channel. Until then, thanks again, take care, and I'll see you guys next time.